Hi, Franklin families. Today we're going to take a quick look at logging into your computer and getting to Seesaw and looking at some of the tools that your student will be using this year. To get started, logging in is a little different this year. You will log in with your student ID number and your password. Your student ID is your student's 6-digit number. Many of our kids know this as their Lexia number, and then a unique password, which is their first initial, their last initial, and a random 3-digit number. If you have any questions about passwords or need help getting started, please email me at smblock@madison.k12.wi.us. Your classroom teacher can also help you with passwords if you just need to know what it is. Once you've put in your username and password, this year you will see this page will pop up for you. It is the class links page. Anytime you see the little key in the upper corner of the icons, will let you know that your student will not need to log in a second time. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Seesaw. I notice that there is a key up in the corner here, which means that when I click on this, my student will be logged right into Seesaw. This is what your student will see when they log into Seesaw as well. Always check to make sure that your student sees their name in the upper left-hand corner, and over on the right-hand side, you should be able to see your student's classroom teacher as well in the teacher banner. Underneath the teacher banner, your student will notice 3 icons: Journal, Activities, and Inbox. When your student has clicked on the journal, they will see all of the activities that they have completed and that their teacher has approved. When they click on activities, they will see any activities that they need to complete. You'll notice that when I click on activities, there is a to do, an in progress, and done. If your student is just looking to see what activities they need to complete, they can click on to do. If your student begins an activity but needs to come back later to finish, you will see that activity will be under in progress. And when they've completed and turned in an assignment, it will be shown in done. The final thing you'll see, or the final icon that you'll see over here, is the inbox. The inbox will be the place where your student will be able to go and see any messages that they have from their teacher. This might be a message about an upcoming assignment. This might be a message about a special activity the class is going to participate, but it also might be feedback for your student's work. If your student has messages, there will be a little red number in the corner to show them that they have some messages waiting to be seen. The teacher may respond and provide feedback on an activity they've already done using text or their voice as well. Be sure to have your student take a look at those things so that they know what they're doing really well and some areas that they might need to look at again. Now, your student will also have a couple different classes that they can go to. If I go back up to Evie's name in the corner, you can see that she has 2 classes. She has her homeroom class, but she will also have her grade level specials classroom. In order to switch between the 2 of these, all you need to do is click on the name and then go to the classroom you would like to. Our specials teachers, art, music, Phy-Ed, and library, will post their activities in the specials classroom. I just went to the 2nd grade specials classroom. You will notice that when I get here, in the journal, which is selected right now, there aren't any activities that are completed. However, notice there's a number 2 in the activities icon. If I go click there, you will see that there are 2 activities that need to be completed. When you see an activity that needs to be completed, here's how you can get started. You can have your student listen to the instructions by clicking on the button here or reading them if they so desire. These instructions will also be found inside of the activity as well, so if they forget something, that's okay. When your student's ready to start an activity, what they'll want to do is click on the Add Response button to get started. Let's do that. Now, when I go to Add Response, you can choose, and sometimes it'll pop right in here for you, how you want to display your work. Depending on how the teacher has set this up, it may direct you right into the drawing page so that the student can complete the actual activity that's already there for them on a template. This one, you got to make a choice. In the drawing section, you will see many, many tools for your student to use. On the left-hand side, you will see that the first icon here is a text box. If your student needs to add text, they can click here and then use their keyboard to type. At any time, this text box can be moved by clicking on the pointer at the bottom and then selecting and moving it around. They also can click on the three dots here to give it a style or a color and do lots of other things with it as well. The next tool that you'll see over here is the microphone. If I click on the microphone, you will notice that the very first time that you do this on your new Chromebooks, you will get a message from your computer saying, do you allow for the computer to have access to your microphone? You will want to click yes, allow. And then when you are ready, you will see that it will give you the recording countdown, 3, 2, 1, and now I am live. Up in the right-hand corner, you can see my recording. I have 5 minutes to record on each page. At any time, I can go ahead and pause my recording if I wish, or I can go ahead and click done. Now, you will see that there is an icon here that lets me know that I have a recording on this page. The next tool you'll also see is the camera. When you click on the camera tool on the left-hand side, you get a couple choices. You get a choice to either take a picture, take a video, or upload a picture that you have saved somewhere else. The very first time you select either photo or video, you will also get the message up in the corner that says, do you allow Seesaw to have access to your camera? At any time, click allow so that now you can use this tool as well. Smile, say cheese. And I did that by just clicking on the camera icon. If you like your picture just as it is, you can keep it there. You can also pick it up and move it around just like we did the text box using the pointer tool at the bottom. You can click and drag to make your tool or your picture smaller or larger, okay? And then you can take a look at the features that you can pick here as well. You won't have to worry too much about those. The next tool, let me also talk about uploading a picture. If your student has a picture that they have saved somewhere else and they want to just upload it to add it to their Canvas, they can click upload and will go right in to the computer where they can choose what they would like, whatever file it might be, and click open and bring that picture in. Again, the student can choose to use the pointer at the bottom to pick this up and move it around. They can make it smaller or larger, okay? And if they'd like to, they can click on those 3 little dots and they could lock it in place. They could also once it's locked, you have to unlock it to do anything else, but they could duplicate it as well if they actually needed 2 Bs instead of 1. Go back and lock these. The final tool that you'll see on the left-hand side are the 3 little dots. When you click on the 3 dots, this is where your student can include and put in a shape into their drawing canvas. They could add a background or a link. To add a shape, they click Shapes, and they can choose whichever shape they like, and they can drag it, click on it to get it to come into their canvas. Again, same thing. They can pick it up and move it around. They can make it bigger or smaller. But the other feature they can do, as long as they've have it selected with the little circles around the outside, is they can change the color of it using the color wheel over on the side. If your student wants to put a background on their canvas, they can click background and choose whatever color background they would like. Oh, let's see if it'll work for me right now. Well, apparently it does not want me to put a background on. I may have to start with that first, but that's where they could add a background. And if they wanted to link somewhere else, they could go ahead, they could select an item, and they could put in a link to a website. So if I wanted to link to Google, I could do that. And here is my website that I could pop in. If your student wanted to add a quick voice note, they could come down to the bottom and they could add a voice caption, or they could use some text. And that will show up. Once they have a caption added, you'll notice that the circle actually turns blue, and that's how the teacher would know that there was a caption added on. So you can see there's the caption. Okay. If at any time your student said, "Ooh, this isn't going so well for me," they could delete their whole canvas and start over, or they also could go ahead and click the undo. The undo button will undo one thing at a time. The delete button will delete the whole thing. Now, remember when I shared that if you were confused or if your student couldn't remember what the directions were for the activity, at the top, they could go back to this and click here where it says View Instructions at any time to either listen to the instructions or to play the instructions again. Before we move out of here, you would probably notice that at the bottom, we have a bunch of drawing tools. We looked at all these amazing features of things we could use on the left-hand side, but if your student is inclined to draw, they could use either the pencil or the marker or the highlighter or the magic pen to do their work as well. I'm going to just choose the pencil. When I chose the pencil, notice my little color wheel popped up here again, and so I might go ahead and choose a color, and then using my either touchpad or my computer screen, I could go ahead and do a drawing. If I made a mistake, here's the eraser. I could go back and erase what I needed to. The final thing I want to show you before we move on is the number of pages that you might see on a screen. Right now, you will notice that there is just one page in this activity. However, if your student wanted to, they could click on the page number on the corner and add a second page. This would then give them a second blank page. Often your teachers might have activities that are more than one page as well. So make sure that you always take a look or share with your student to take a look in the corner as well to see how many pages there are in the activity. If I finally decided, yeah, I think I'm pretty much done with this activity, I have two choices. If I know for sure that I am completely finished and I'm ready to turn this into my teacher, I would go ahead and click the green check mark to turn it in. If I take a look and say, I'm pretty much done with this, but I might need to come back and add some changes, or maybe I want to fix something, or I want to learn something more to add, I could go ahead and click on Save as a Draft, which is the orange button. If I click on the Save as a Draft, this will then show back up in Students, and let me show you this, a draft file. So if I go back to the activities here, and I go back to where it says In Progress, you will notice here is the activity I've started to work on, but you'll notice it says that I'm not quite finished. And then when I'm ready, I can go in and finish the response. It'll open it right back up, so there's no need to save anything extra. And I could add what I wanted to and then turn it in with the green check mark in the corner when I'm ready. Now you'll see if I go to activities, and I can see here in the to-do, I still have just one activity here. If I went to done, here is the activity that I have completed. We will certainly work through this with our students as well as we get started. Seesaw has a lot of amazing opportunities for our students to respond in different ways using their voice. They're using pictures and drawing, and then also adding text when necessary as well. You'll notice that your teachers will provide a lot of opportunities for your kids to respond in different ways. If at any time you have questions about using Seesaw and you need a little bit more of an explanation, please again email me at smblock@madison.k12.wi.us.